I welcome you to the day 2 of our workshop organized by for the Homeopathic Awareness Week and World Homeopathic Day celebration at the Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital. On behalf of PG Welfare Committee, I welcome you all to the session today. Yesterday, we began with an exciting venture to explore the intersection of AI, healthcare, and homeopathy. Today, we will be equally engaging in an enriching as well as exciting session. For that, we will be having very insightful sessions from two of our esteemed speakers, Dr. Abhijit Dutta and Dr. Arthur sir. With that, without further delay, I request Dr. Professor Shubhamoy Ghosh sir, HOD Department of Pathology and Microbiology of the Homeopathic Medical College, to begin with the opening speech for the session today. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Principal Sir and the dignitaries, esteemed colleagues and distinguished guests who are participating in the hall and in the online session. So, today is a second day of workshop we are hosting. Very important day is World Health Day. It's a very important day. So on this significant occasion of World Health Day, the tagline or the theme is Together for Health and Stand with Science. So we are encouraging science today. And this theme highlights the vital importance of the scientific collaboration, evidence-based decision-making, and collective responsibility in addressing global health challenges. So we are believing in One Health program. So we are touching human health, animal health, and planet health, environmental and planetary health, which is nowadays is a very essential component. So today's program, which is based on our workshop, is based on AI and machine learning in healthcare and homeopathy. So we are very much well aware that nowadays AI and machine learning is not an optional field. It is a mandatory one to learn something. AI ML significantly strengthen homeopathy practice by assisting in symptom analysis, repetition, enhancing clinical decision making CDSS, which is the talk of Dr. Abhijit Dutta today, supporting drug proving data analysis, improving clinical research and trial designing, which is very important arena, identifying the hidden correlation in patient responses. Yes, while technology offers immense opportunities, it also presents certain gray areas and ethical concerns also. So data privacy and patient confidentiality, algorithm bias and transparency, overvariance and online machine generated decision. Therefore, our goal should not be to replace the physician with machine learning, but to improve and empower the physician with intelligent tools. So today's first lecture is Dr. Abhijit Dutta. So Dr. Abhijit Dutta, please start your session.
Am I audible? So very good morning to all of you. It's afternoon actually. I think Anjali wants to say something.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abhijit sir. Actually, we would like to introduce you to the other participants as well. I know you are a man who needs no introduction as such, but I would take another minute and my fellow PG person, Dr. Sanjita, will introduce you to the entire participants for the session as well. Dr. Sanjita, please join.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are now moving forward to the section that beautifully connects the philosophy of homeopathy with the innovation of modern science. Our topic, artificial intelligence in homeopathy and healthcare, is not just relevant, it is transformative. And to enlighten us to this fascinating subject, we have with us a truly distinguished personality, a name that resonates with research, innovation, and global relevance. Please join me in extending a warm virtual welcome to Dr. Abhijit Dutta sir, Research Officer, Homeopathy, Ministry of AYUSH, Government of India. With more than 75 publications in peer-reviewed journals, Dr. Dutta stands as a strong pillar of evidence-based homeopathy. His expertise includes systemic review, meta-analysis, and notably the integration of artificial intelligence in healthcare. He is not just a researcher, but also an active contributor to policymaking and global research dialogues, playing a key role in strengthening scientific standards, including reporting guidelines like PAGE statement. Today, his work is paving the way for AI-driven clinical decision support systems and advanced data mining in homeopathy, bridging tradition with cutting-edge science. Isn't that truly inspiring? So, without further delay, I request Dr. Abhijit Dutta sir to kindly take over this session.
Thank you, Sanchita, for your kind words. I think I can start now. So, just a minute, let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, so very good morning to all of you. Today, I was really thinking of that how to frame this kind of technical things to this workshop. Then I figured out two, three things. One is uh, whenever we are talking about AI or data science or deep learning or machine learning, we often think about two, three paradigms. One is users of AI. Okay. I mean, I'm talking about mere users of AI. Whenever something comes into the mind, that what it would be. So either we search in the Google or in the chat GPT nowadays. And moreover, the person who are having some extra edge, they are using Perplexity or Gemini or some Claude. But there is a second category of people who are also users category, but they uses AI in certain technical things, right? For prescription, for building some generative AI things, or uh, building some research protocol or proposal. But there is a third category of people who actually wants to bring their expertise on board and use AI for their systems of medicine, or for their particular expertise system. So when I was framing this entire presentation, I was thinking that if I focus any one of this population, then it would be justice for rest of the two. So I have made this presentation quite little comprehensive, little technical, and little tricky. So I request all of you to bear with me for next probably 45 minutes or 1 hour, because it is already have started late. So kindly bear with me. In the slides you are finding, because Jay Beshi expert, he readily will think what he showing, like simple promptings and all. And the first category of people who will think that what he is showing, it's a coding or something like that. We don't understand, we don't need that. So don't worry about it. Whenever you need something, you have to have craving inside your mind. So be all of these three persons. If you are not even, then think for next 1 hour that you are all of these three personalities, three split personalities, who wants to learn AI from its very core and wants to apply AI in their clinical practice or research whatsoever. So my topic today was given to me pertains to three paradigms. One is clinical trial analysis, another one is the drug discovery, and the third one is the prompting, and also data mining to some extent. But what I will do is, probably in past few lectures, you have all become quite well conversant with what is AI, what is ML, what is deep learning, and all of these concepts, right? But I want to take you little bit through the concept called AI in medicine, that how AI is developing the modern medicine or conventional medicine in a way that is beyond our any thinking possibilities. so that you can have certain insight that what we are standing today. I mean, as homeopath, where we are actually standing today. The first one is the artificial intelligence. What is it? As you know, that it is something mimics the human intelligence. It learns from the data simply. So suppose you have conducted a cross-sectional survey and you have found that 25% of people are using homeopathy as first line of treatment, 45% are using as a second line of treatment. So you have certain data set, right? So if you feed that data set in a certain system and it can interpret what it actually means by analyzing it by themselves, is called artificial intelligence. But then comes on the machine learning. Machine learning is a step ahead, or the uh, purified version of the artificial intelligence, which can think in between the lines. I mean, which can actually draw pattern out of this data, which is a level ahead of the artificial intelligence, or more precise form of the artificial intelligence, which can actually identify the pattern in that data. And then comes on the deep learning. Deep learning is nothing but many layers of the neural network. For an example, whenever we go somewhere today, uh, we always think like, when I'll get the cab, will the cab driver be polite? If I want him to take some alternate route, will he take? Then again, whenever we are paying, probably that problem persists to Kolkata most often I have faced. That is, ওরা ক্যাশে পেমেন্ট নিতে চায় না, so they often wants sorry, ওরা অনলাইন পেমেন্ট নিতে চায় না, they often wants payments in cash. So this kind of problems always persist. So this is also a kind of thinking that comes into our mind, and moreover it is just a cab related thinking. Without our perception, we are getting this hell lot of thinking inside your mind, and when you drop from the cab, the purpose you are going for, then that purpose comes into your mind and multiple other thinkings. And also nowadays there is a big problem called overthinking. So what I'm trying to say here is, you are having hell lot of thinkings inside your mind going parallelly, and they are quite connected to each other, right? So this is the basic model that deep learning follows. It has multiple layers. Whenever it wants, use a certain layer to think for you. That is called deep learning. Now let me show you a very interesting thing that I prepared, that is called AIML mind map. Is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, just to show you that how artificial intelligence have developed in past 10, 15 years. See that artificial intelligence can be classified into these many forms. One is machine learning, then classical AI, and then AGI, the advanced general intelligence or safety. Then AI agents, you know that certain kind of chatbots and all that they are continuously being forming. Then generative AI, large language models like ChatGPTs and all, then transformers. But to mention in nota bene that large language models is ChatGPT is low, or Gemini is no longer a large language model. They're combination of many of these. Okay. So if you click here, you can see that machine learning can be subclassified into supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, self-supervised, all of these things. But not going into very technical details, supervised learning is when you give a structured data set. You have cleaned the data. It is a clean, structured data set. Suppose you are providing a data set of 50 medicines. Suppose arsenicum album, aconite, bromia. So each one of having that characteristic symptom column, each one of having that mind, uh, physical generals, and then particular symptoms, modalities. So everything is classified in a very neat and clean way. And if you give that data to your machine learning model, it can understand the data and it can create some conclusion out of it or draw some pattern. Then comes unsupervised learning. It has no labels. It just extracts the data, understands by itself, and give you the result. And then comes on reinforcement learning, which is another type of reward and frill method usually uses on this particular thing. Then self-supervised learning, it gives himself a supervised task and particular pattern, so it can learn. And these are again subclassified, but I'm not going to into that detail. Then you can see that deep learning is also, uh, there are some very advanced model like GNN, CAN, diffusion model, okay, and CNN image vision model like that X-ray MRI. If you upload this particular X-ray MRI to certain CNN models, it can readily identify the pattern by thinking in multiple nodes or multiple directions that we call neural networks. Then there are transformer-based things, large language models like pre-trained, fine-tuning. Fine-tuning means, have you observed that your ChatGPT has a thing that is quite enabled? I will show you, which uses your data to train himself. Okay. So, although it is very good philanthropic things that we often do for ChatGPTs like these things, because thousands and millions and billions of people have trained ChatGPT in this way. That's why we are getting some refinement day by day. But if you are doing some sensitive work, then don't do that, because if ChatGPT learns from your sensitive data, then probably it will give certain outputs of somewhere uh, in some corner of the world. Suppose I have provided a sensitive government input to ChatGPT. Okay, so it has learned my that particular data, and someone in some corner of the world is asking the similar question. So it will answer that question based on my feeding of data to ChatGPT. So that is a problem. So if you're doing some sensitive level of work, then don't do that. You just turn off that particular thing, that is data privacy. And then comes on generative AI. It can generate something for you. Then AI agents, that robots and all these things. Even Tesla car is using an AI agent to train himself about these roads, traffics, and all these things. And then AGI, then classic AI. So all of these are having further sub-classification. So it is a very, very, very big thing that how AI has developed over the time. As you can see that looks quite fascinating, but that much complex inside. Okay. So I hope you have understood that how artificial intelligence have developed in past few years. Now, the question is not artificial intelligence. The question is how medical science is learning or using that artificial intelligence for its betterment. So as you know that nowadays, chest X-ray, CT scan, MRI, pathology, dermatology, everyone is using artificial intelligence technology to diagnose or from some treatment insights. Uh, I have learned one person. He's also working on some these imaging models from Indian data. He have shared one very fascinating insight with me. He said that we have developed a model. We have trained it with around 6 lakhs of MRIs of knee. Okay. So it is a very precise model, but it is not fascinating. The fascinating part is even radiologist has 87% accuracy, but the model he developed is having 94.6% accuracy. Just think about it. This much of accuracy a deep learning model has nowadays. It was created through some again some complex models called interrelated agreements with AI. Interrelated agreements is not that simple. It is quite complex, but they have done it, and it was really fascinating thing. I don't know whether he will publish that result particularly or not to get curse of all the radiologists in the world, but it actually fascinated me. Now, AI in diagnostic support or treatment support is, that early warning systems, ECG interpretation, symptom checkers, treatment optimizations, all of this can be done through AI. I'm not going into the details of it. Now, you know that AI is extensively used nowadays in drug discovery. I will show you how this happen. And Google DeepMind have developed one thing called AlphaFold 2 in 2021 that has revolutionized the way that drug discovery used to happen. Okay. Uh, it has predicted structure for more than 200 million plus proteins, solving a 50-year grand challenge. And AlphaFold 3 now covers protein ligand DNA interaction and directly enabling AI guided drug design. So if you want any data set of any protein, of any bacteria, or any uh, plant derived alkaloid, anything, you can get that data in PubChem or Google DeepMind's AlphaFold 2. And it will again guide you that how to use that protein and where to use that protein, how to understand the molecular unfolding, dockets, and all of these things. and it is very important for admit prediction. Can anyone tell me what is admit prediction?
It is it is absorption, digestion, and when a drug is taken, so
Good.
how it processes in the body, PKPD of the drug, basically.
Metabolism, excretion, and toxicology.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is the admit prediction. This admit prediction is very much important for any molecule which enters into the body and how they are behaving. So see, earlier what used to happen is in our era, I mean, when I was the student of BHMS, then uh, usually all the molecules that used to follow that modern medicine pathway of identifying the molecules and how they're behaving inside the body, they used to push into the body to understand the toxicology and how this particular molecule, this is called radio labeled molecule, how this is behaving inside the body and how it's getting excreted. But nowadays, you can sit quite relaxed in the AC room. I mean, your body should be relaxed, but mind should be very much active. And you can create that admit prediction through the AI model, that how it will be behaving inside the human body. And it is also, again, around 90 to 97% accurate. Just think about it. Also, that has to be cross-validated using the traditional mode only. Now, with all these, how this power of artificial intelligence can be used in clinical medicine, that I published a paper in 2023, and that time I was not very much well aware about the AI models and everything, which is quite easier nowadays. But at that time, I was actually understanding some of the AI models using the basic knowledge I had for the biostatistics. Then I wrote this paper and I clusterized that what to do in future. But in a fascinating manner, within next 1 year, many of the part were covered by the AI in health, uh, that focus continuum called AI in health. Okay, but you can go through this article. This is important to understand that how AI is uh, perfusing the medicine in its own capability. Now, this is a very interesting thing. This is a large language model called MedQA. It is a large language model for solving the clinical queries. Now, the thing is, you can ask the clinical query in ChatGPT as well, in Perplexity as well. But the thing is, USMLE examination, it is one of the toughest examinations. Uh, these USMLE examinations questions were fed to this kind of GPT Neo, PubBird, Bio, LinkBird, Dragon, PubMed GPT, all of these things. But as you can see, that it was having the highest level of accuracy, about 67.6. So just think about it, that how much stringent model they have made, although it is having multiple high level of deep neural network used from various models which were open sources, and also they have created their own model to train it in certain way, but it is having a phenomenal level of accuracy. And nowadays probably they have already made it open source, and they're probably integrating this particular data or code to a particular application where you can have any kind of clinical query you want, and which will having a phenomenal level of accuracy. Now, it was the basic of AI, although you have already gone through in the previous lecture. Now, I will tell you a bit about these four topics that were given to me. One is AI in drug discovery and homeopathic research, then how AI can assist the clinical trial analysis, and some of the data minings we do in homeopathic research, and prompt engineering to some extent. The first model is AI in drug discovery and homeopathic research. Have you heard of AlphaFold? Anyone? That again, the Google DeepMind's creation, now it is AlphaFold 2 that I told you earlier, that AlphaFold is having a phenomenal level of protein structuring that you can use for any kind of network pharmacology things uh, you want right now. I've seen that multiple pharmacy students, they are doing certain LCMS studies HPLC studies to understand what kind of phytocomponents are there in particular drug ingredient. If they does it, the next level is to take these particular phytoconstituents to the next level. One is called the drug-drug interaction or drug-body interaction or drug genome interaction. So it can be done through network pharmacology and molecular docking. And when you get the result, then it will also tell you that how much it is influencing that particular protein structure. This is called adherence time. And you can even compare with the existing drugs that is doing the same thing, that how much percentage of efficacy your medicine is having against that particular medicine. Maybe it is of Ayurveda, maybe it is of modern medicine or conventional or any kind of molecule you want. Okay. So what happened was in 2023, one in silico medicines AI discovered drug INS018 underscore 055. It is a drug for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It is now have completed phase two trials already. So think about it, the efficacy of that molecule. आप सबको पता है कि efficacy of the molecule कैसे देखा जाता है. First, we have to select a particular component or particular molecule. Then that molecule has to be tested in vitro, then in vivo, I mean that animal study. If it qualifies, then phase 0 studies to understand drug toxicity and feasibility. Phase 1 study, again, clinical feasibility. Then phase 2, it is randomized control trial in small number of patients. Then phase 3, it is confirmatory randomized control trial to understand the efficacy of the drug in the particular condition. And phase 4 is the post-marketing trial to understand any kind of adverse event or further effect of the drug. So starting from this identifying molecule to from in vitro, from animal studies to this phase 3, I'm not talking about phase 4, because after phase 3 you can get the license to market that particular drug. But up to that phase 3, this takes around 15 years to 20 years of time to develop. And just think, a pharma company, I'm talking about conventional systems of medicine, a pharma company already have spent $1 billion on this particular molecule, but as it reaches the phase 3, it is showing that it is not efficacious more than existing drug. So all these billions of dollars has gone into vain. And I'm telling you, using this method, 99 or 98, to be precise, 98.7% of the trials will not, when I have not seen the light of the earth. Phase 3 tak aate aate, that has been completely demolished, and uh, the molecule has been discarded. But nowadays, with the advent of this AI, I will show you that how these things happen. That in silico medicines AI discovered this drug for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which has already completed the phase 2 trials. Now, there are three bridges actually. Sorry. The first one is what we can do for homeopathy, drug proving reanalysis via NLP, natural language processing. Then we can do network pharmacology for potency researches in various potencies. We can do that LCMS and all sensitive studies to understand what kind of molecules are there. Then the bridge 3 is data mining outcome from the clinical practice, and we will be associating it with the uh, result we have obtained from this network pharmacology and potency research data. So it can be bridged together. I will show you how. Now that AlphaFold revolution, before that, I will show you another important example. So this is the one. It is called Halicin. You can see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is called Halicin. That is very much interesting antibiotics, you can say, but not from the antibiotic family. It was discovered by machine learning intelligence entirely. That MIT researchers and Broad Institute, that is a very famous institute, Broad Institute, they have discovered a lot of antibiotics. So this MIT and Broad Institute came together and they have made a graph neural network. Graph neural network is another sensitive technology of the deep learning. So they have developed a graph neural network and it has screened 107 millions of molecules in just 4 days. Just think about it. 100 papers, ও মানে কাউকে যদি টাস্ক দেয়া হয় যে কালকের মধ্যে 100টা পেপার কমপ্লিটলি পড়ে ফুল ইনসাইট নিয়ে আসার জন্য, the human mind can't do it, especially in this present time. But it has this graph neural network has screened 107 millions of molecules in just 4 days and identified the first structurally novel antibiotic class. That class have never existed before in over 30 years, and no human chemist would have been prioritized. Mane, it is such kind of molecules which have never been thought of. It was earlier made for the target of diabetes mellitus. So they have made that problem statement. They have trained the data in a classical way. You can see that this. I have retrieved that data from their database, and you can see that each molecules which are reacting with this particular antibiotic or drug-resistant antibiotic, drug-resistant molecule bacteria, they are yellow, and you can see by clicking that which one is actually positioning itself against the antibiotics and how. Now they have built that network, that raw molecular graph they have provided to that machine learning model. Then they have layer one, that local atom environment, then layer two, functional group patterns. It is the graph neural networks models, a very precise way of understanding the data. Then global molecular shape. There is a called pharmacophoric fingerprinting. This was the innovation made by that MIT scientist. And after that, they had the output. And then they have started the screening. 107 millions of molecules they have screened, and they have identified 6,111 molecules. Out of that, 100 top candidates were sent to laboratory for biological testing, and then they have found the halicin, which was having AI activity score of 0.99. And as you can see that this is the structure of halicin. No human chemist would have prioritized this particular molecule SU057 for antibiotic screening ever. And how it kills bacteria, that is very interesting. Halicin কখনোই ribosomes, cell wall enzymes, DNA gyrase, they don't target all of this. This antibiotic, this particular molecule is a different class. It actually, because you see, যখন একটা ব্যাকটেরিয়া মিউটেট করে, তো কোন জায়গা থেকে মিউটেট? ডিএনএ, রাইবোসোম, সেল ওয়াল এনজাইমস. That's why it becomes antibiotic resistance. What do you mean by antibiotic resistance? When you provide an antibiotic repeatedly to a person, that bacteria understands that nature and it develops itself in a certain way that antibiotic can't attack it. So antibiotic mostly attack kake korto? Ribosome, cell wall enzymes, DNA gyrase. But now no longer halicin attacks those. Halicin works differently. It disrupts the protein motif force across the bacterial inner membrane. As you can see that this animation, that H plus, there's a inner membrane protein motif force, or for the ATP synthesis, it actually disrupts this. যখন এটিপি থাকবে না, এটিপি সিনথেসিসটাই বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে, the bacteria will not any longer survive. Even আর এখন if still bacteria wants to struggle, then AI have answered, that model have answered, still if bacteria wants to survive, then bacteria has to resist this particular antibiotic, but mutating by mutating then entire ATP synthesis process, which is virtually impossible. So halicin was given to the preclinical models, and it was found that even after 30 days, there was no resistance case that was happened. Now, as you can see, this kind of organism that halicin works on, E. coli resistant strain, Klebsiella pneumoniae resistant strain, MRSA even, Staphylococcus aureus. So all of these things were the priority of WHO in a critical way, and halicin have solved that particular thing. So it was 35, it was effective for 35 plus drug resistant strain, and it was discovered within 4 days and preclinical trials of next 30 days. Now we have to understand two things. Number one, two of you might be thinking that why we are learning about helicin, we will be talking about homeopathy instead. But the thing is, it was, you can say motivation, or you can say the best of the best examples that how AI can be used in medicine, and how what kind of work we should do in next 5-10 years to integrate AI into homeopathy. So now, as you can see that there was a thing in drug discovery called prompt to pill network. These guys published a paper in 2025. I have given the particular reference below. That paper consolidates মাল্টিপল স্পেশালাইজড এআই এজেন্ট, মানে এখানে যেরকম আমরা দেখলাম যে হ্যালিসিনে what we have done in Halicin, they have screened all those data from the AlphaFold, and after screening they have derived to 100, then they have derived to some few thousands, then 100, then they have understood what to be done. So now this prompt to fill framework, they will do that entire task without any human intervention. First, target discovery agent, one agent was deployed for this. Then compound design agent, this agent will design the compound. Then preclinical simulation agent, even you no need to go for the in vitro in vivo trial, that will simulate that admit prediction. Then trial design agent, then patient matching agent, that is EHR screening, electronic health record screening. So entire world's database will be used for this particular thing, whether this particular compound will be working or not. So just think about it, what kind of revolution that will be coming in future days for the drug discovery. Now we can use this particular model to homeopathy also. How? Because homeopathic concept is entirely different from this traditional drug discovery concept, right? So we can replace this particular compound design. That is my thought process. If you have any suggestion, please do let me know. If we replace this compound design agent with proving patterns extraction, obviously that genuine proving, not on the manipulated one. Third is preclinical simulation test we can do with potency response curve modeling. That is a different kind of modeling that we can develop. Then trial design agent, we can use this trial design agent to particular N-of-1 trials or something like that. And then patient matching agent. We can use also our EHR, electronic health record or case repertory matching, matched case that has been treated already. Now, where artificial intelligence, wait, where artificial intelligence meets classical medicine. NLP minings of provings we can do, that entire proving records we need for that. Okay. Starting from Hahnemann, Herring, Allen, Clark, all of these things. Then ultra dilution research, we want to understand that how the silica and source material nanoparticle signatures are acting in high potencies. Network pharmacology, that I have just told you right now. Then machine learning repertorization. Now let me ask you one question, not to answer, but to think. When this entire AI people working for medicines, of course, were working for medicines in past few years, what homeopathic fraternity or us doing in that stage? Just think about it. Now you have understood the level of innovations that have been made, right? Or it is in the process of making. But what we have done in past 5-10 years, almost nothing, almost nothing. थोड़ा बहुत हुआ है, जैसे Radar Opus have integrated a little bit of AI in the remedy selection process. Some of the other repertory apps have done so far, but it is also not very structured. Okay. So this much of things we can do right now. Now let me give you an example. What happens is, earlier we had one study of an NIH PG student that is called Ornithogalum umbellatum. So Borix medica, an earlier proving record, was saying something that Ornithogalum can work on these, on these, on these. But I didn't believe on all of these things. What I did is I have made a GNN model. I mean, general neural network or graph neural network, you can say. And then I found that that model was, don't going into detailed technicality. I will show you that folder, that coding. So that model, what it usually supposed to do, that model supposed to do extraction for me. What kind of extraction? Ornithogalum umbellatum has this kind of, this this is the LCMS result. Okay, these particular bioactive compounds were there in the Ornithogalum mother tincture. So I had thought that what these mother tinctures do. So I made a hetero-GNN and graph-GNN model together, and it identified everything out of these particular components, compounds, and found it out how these, what kind of receptors or proteins they can influence. And then found in the third node, they have found this particular mechanism of function. And fascinatingly, it showed me the result that Borix medica and other proving records says it can act on dyspepsia and gastritis. Although the Materia medica says a lot more, but primarily Ornithogalum umbellatum is being used for dyspepsia and gastritis. And this was the result. And after that, or not after that, it was done by me in a few weeks ago. But before that, that animal study was already done based on Borix Materia medica. And that animal study is published in homeopathy. You can see that Ornithogalum in albino blister rats, and it found that uh, specifically, probably as far as I can remember, it is mother tincture 30 and 6 probably. Mother tincture and 30 probably most efficacious in case of this gastritis or indomethacin induced gastric ulcers in rats. So it found efficacious in animal model. But this is the network pharmacology study that we did in two weeks back, and we found that this was the thing. LCMS. I have treated that LCMS data, and I developed that heterogeneous graph neural network model. And this neural network model has uh, told me what kind of metabolic targets it can have, especially with the apigenin. And we conducted this network meta, how this apigenin is adhering to the particular proteins, which reduces the COX-2 pathway. And we found that this, with this COX-2 inhibition, they can prevent or they can treat the gastritis. Uh, yes, this was the actual molecular docking technology that we used. It is not AI. It is also again a Python code, but it is not foolproof AI. But what AI did for me, anyone? Molecular docking तो normal software से भी किया जा सकता है, but what AI did for me here? Anyone? Not AI actually, it's deep learning model, that heterogeneous network. It identified আমি কি করতাম? I used to do uh, a study with all these molecules, all these bioactive compounds to understand that what they have done, right? What kind of targets they would have. But this heterogeneous model actually discovered all those targets for me, right? So that was the special use case of the deep learning, especially in homeopathic part. But here, तो ये AlphaFold, या PubMed, PubChem, all of these are having hell lot of this kind of protein molecular structures you can download. You can do molecular docking. But the special part is understanding which kind of particular protein will be influenced by these components that has in the that is derived from the LCMS. This is a kind of network pharmacology that was done for one molecule probably a year back. by one particular software, just to show you that how these molecules interact, how this heterogeneous model can interact itself and understand he ca- that what can happen, right? Means it is joining thousands of possibilities and nodes inside and giving you the result. Just think about it. Now, AI can also be used in ultra highly diluted research, in water structure modeling and spectroscopic fingerprinting and nanoparticle analysis. Although I'm not very expert of all these, but I found that this kind of models like heterogeneous can be used. This kind of spectroscopic fingerprinting is all. Probably they are doing also, but I don't know they are using what kind of models, especially in the chemical engineering or material engineering. Okay, so this was the application of AI in drug identification and network pharmacology. Do you have any question from that particular segment? Am I audible on what
Yes,
I'm?
yes,
I
yes.
mean, okay, okay. Thank you. So I don't think you have any questions. Okay, just if you have, then reserve it for the terminal part of this presentation. Now, AI-assisted clinical trial analysis, it is a very big topic. I will not go through each and every one, but I will show you what is the possibility. In research and evidence, what kind of evidence pyramid we have? In the bottom line, that is expert opinion, nowadays AI opinion maybe, and then animal studies, then case report case series, then observational studies like cohort case control, then comes on the poorly controlled clinical trial or single arm clinical trial, then RCTs, double blind RCTs, then comes on systematic reviews and meta-analysis. So this is the basic pyramid of the evidence-based medicine. People says that this pyramid is not applicable for homeopathy. Actually, this pyramid is not meant for homeopathy or allopathy. This pyramid is meant for the evidence, that whenever you are treating a patient, what kind of evidence you should have. So, but in that pyramid per se, a lot of important informations are there. So if we go step by step, then we can understand that how AI can be integrated in each phase, right? For an example, when we are talking about trial design and execution, the first one is adaptive RCT design. You know, adaptive RCT design, there are some that two kind of statistics usually we use. One called Bayesian statistics, one is called frequentist statistics. Frequentist statistics mostly rely on the p-value and the probability structure, but Bayesian statistics usually can understand the pattern, and also Bayesian statistics uh, can identify the small changes or contextual changes. Okay, so in adaptive RCT designs, uh, is simply we can adapt according to the outcomes we have already uh, pre-decided, right? Then patient stratification, digital endpoint, site selection, machine learning. Uh, a machine learning model can be made where suppose 15, 20, or 35 parameters we have. And if you put all those parameters, particular studies site-wise, suppose DND homeopathic medical college is having this. So AI will ask, does it have this facility? Does it have this sanitation facility? So you have answered all the questions. So AI will analyze and tell you whether it is suitable for the trial execution or not. Although quite not applicable for homeopathy, because we mostly rely on the chance that we get some trial site to conduct our trials. The second is real world evidence. It is very important that homeopaths uh, used to say from the very beginning, when I was student, this used to say that the cases we have, the real world evidence we have, is the most effective thing, even more important than the RCT. I didn't believe on all these things, but nowadays I started believing that, because if we have the real world data in its purest form, no manipulation, because homeopaths can cure everything, each and everything they can cure. Even they can cure the cancer, even they can bring back patient from the heaven. No, I'm not joking. I mean, it actually can happen. But the thing is, we need some real world evidence. Okay, we need some real world evidence. So, what is real world evidence? Real world evidence is the evidence you generate in your day to day practice, like electronic health record. We can mine the data, registry analysis, comparative effectiveness, pharmacovigilance, all of these things. And then evidence synthesis. Nowadays, we do meta-analysis, systematic review. It take around 8 to 9 months to get completed. That is also true. Some systematic review can be done in 15-20 days also, but that much of rigorousness that a systematic review requires has to be put into, and it can be completed, of course. I don't think before 8 9 months at its minimum. Now there is a thing called nowadays living systematic review. Because suppose I have done systematic review of all the RCTs or meta-analysis of all the RCTs published up to March 2024. But in April, in May, in June, in December 2025 or 2024, another 5 6 RCTs have been published. But my paper is also published. So what I will do? Here, living systematic review comes. It is a living type of thing. I mean, it is getting continuously updated as and when new data comes or as and when new literature comes. It includes and it gives you the updated result. There is a thing called network meta-analysis. It is very interesting thing. Probably 1 2 years back, I had one workshop in your college. Then I showed one network meta-analysis of PMS, premenstrual syndrome. I showed that this homeopathy clinical trials effect size or the amount that homeopathy can ameliorate in PMS patient symptoms is more than what SSRIs does, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor in conventional medicine. So it was a network meta-analysis. Through network meta-analysis, we can compare many interventions together. Okay, and evidence to practice gap. It is very tough to identify because it has the observer's bias or investigator's bias. He practice কোথায় evidence gap আছে and what kind of evidence we need to fulfill. And from that gap, we understand the research question. Suppose arnica can heal the ulcer. That is, that we know. Our Materia Medica says that arnica can heal the ulcer or bruise. But we don't have concrete evidence for that. Then I started searching that where it is written arnica can ameliorate the bruise. I have found 6 7 references of old times and modern 3 4 case reports. So this is called evidence to practice gap. Then I have to fulfill that evidence, that gap through the evidence. And that gap is known as research question. Is arnica effective in case of bruise and ulcer? Maybe it's traumatic. In in minimizing the duration of suffering. So all of this research questions in PICO format or PICOT format you can build. But now what I want to say is this trial design execution, this real world evidence, the evidence synthesis may look very complicated, but AI can done it. AI can do it in a very easy and comprehensive way. Okay, but the thing you have to do is whether you make the model, whether you build the model, or someone will build it for you. In homeopathy, standard RCT fails because RCT mostly fails because RCT standardized treatment, but homeopathy individualizes it. Suppose I'm telling you that individualized homeopathy is effective in knee osteoarthritis. Suppose my RCT have found p-value less than 0.05. It's fine. It means individualized homeopathy works, right, in knee osteoarthritis. But does it actually say that what kind of individualization acts? What is the set of medicine that acts? What is the set of medicine performed under which condition, at which patients, at which constitution? RCT cannot answer all these until and unless you take all these parameters into your account, which will again complicate very much the statistical analysis. But RCT is not the answer for all these questions. Now, in AI, there are certain provisions. If you collect the data in that way, then through Bayesian machine learning, we can handle these tiny samples with prior knowledge. It can not only tell you that which individualized medicine will work in this particular condition, but also tell you the patient you are select. Suppose you have a patient, right? You want to apply the result of RCT to that patient. You want to provide individualized homeopathic treatment. Then what kind of everybody does individualization, but AI will tell you how to individualize that patient with the kind of individualization that was used in RCT. And it will again, it can tell you if it has feeded with good amount of data, it can tell you that whether this particular medicine that you have individualized will work in this particular patient or not. That can be done. And this meta-analysis, outcome measures, all these things can be handled through AI. I have written it down. I will provide my slides to you, don't worry. Then some AI enhanced drug provings can also be done. And AI can uh, this is a theoretical model that I thought it will be important for you to understand that how homeopathic provings can be handled through AI. But I am telling you one thing. In drug proving, in most of the cases, provers gives wrong or falsified data to the physician. So before developing any of this system, we need to develop a model that can understand whether this prover is falsifying or not. But for that, we need to understand the complexity of falsification, psychology of patient, and integrate it to the deep learning model so that it can understand that psychology of the patient, of the prover, and it can ask counter questions to verify whether they are falsifying or not. But there are certain challenges and ethical considerations. One is data quality and scarcity. Nowadays, data quality is not very much good for any kind of model, any kind of AI infrastructure. So transparency and explainability is very much important. You know that all of you probably believe that the data in homeopathy also is generating nowadays is not that much reliable, uh, like we used to believe our stalwarts like Kane, Hanneman. Still, we refer to them, right? Kane treated that case, Herring treated that case, Hanneman treated that case with this medicine, with this symptom. But we rarely refer to our teachers, we rarely refer to our seniors because we believe our old data more. Why so? Again, a human psychology comes into a play. Until and unless you see the case getting cured or case getting very much improved, you don't believe on that particular person. If you believe, then then there is another problem. You start to believe everything he has. Even he gives uh, zincum metallicum to acute injury, you can believe, okay, somewhere, sometimes probably he has experienced zincum metallicum might be acting on this acute injury. Fantastic. What kind of prescription it is? Probably it is a wrong prescription. But again and again, he will give example of this particular prescription, and you will be so much blind psychologically, you can't see that whether this patient is getting improved or not. So that is another subjective bias or observer's bias, although called confirmation bias, because you believe in something and you try to gather the data which can confirm your conviction. But AI doesn't do that. AI will only be trained on the data, and if data is low quality, it will be trained in low quality data. But again, some AI models are coming which can handle this low quality data itself and sift the high quality data from it. That is also a good possibility. Now then, data privacy is very much important because hope you have heard about dark web or deep web. Suppose DNA has good amount of data, right, of patients. They have digitalized it. So if someone sells it in dark web, around a single data can cost around $200. That I've heard it from somewhere. Just think about it. What is the value of the data? Because based on that data, they are building something more expensive. This is why probably you have heard that in many of the big hospitals, cyber attacks used to happen always. It's a regular case of cyber attack in big hospitals like AIMS or John Hopkins, all of these hospitals who are having enormous number of patients' data because they use this data to train their particular application or AI. So this is why data privacy is very much important. Then also the data the AI is getting trained on. Inclusive data training and open science is something that most of the researchers believe that whatever we build, we will share it openly. Like GitHub is a very good social media for open researchers. Then this is a end-to-end workflow of data mining, that how the PubMed literature, then we can extract something called NLP extraction, a structured data set, then machine learning pipeline, then interpretable result. What is that actually? Uh, I will show you. I have built one. This is a model structure of an AI, how it works. Suppose I have built for PubMed only. Suppose in PubMed you go and you give that Boolean operators, and after giving Boolean operators of homeopathy and psoriasis, it will give you a number of results, right? And then you will extract all these things. But in I have made one model. If you write you don't need to write that particular Boolean operators. You just write what you want. Suppose homeopathy literature in psoriasis. So it will convert it into the all possible textual Boolean operators. It will do it will do PubMed literature search, then natural language processing extraction. It will make a structured data set for you, and then it will enter into the ML pipeline and give you the interpretable result. Let me show you how it was built. See, this is the particular files of all these coding. This is called multi-layer ML, machine learning model. This is not deep learning, of course, because in deep learning, inside the folder there are multiple layers of neural network. Now, suppose this is the app dot. This is the main app. It actually runs each and every commands inside this py file or this output Psycha file. Suppose I have to run this. This Streamlit is actually will take me to the HTML version where you can see that exact thing. You can see this. Just a minute. Thing. I'm running this on the local host. If I get out of internet, then also it can extract the data and provide the results for me. But in background, it has searched the PubMed. See, like homeopathy randomized control trial. I need how many results? I can make it for 5,000 as well. Okay. But before that, I have to put my mail because it will enter into the PubMed. It will log in with my mail and extract this particular data. So PubMed is already logged in my system. So suppose simple, you can write anything here. Okay, that homeopathy randomized trial or homeopathy allergy randomized trial. You can write the Boolean operators also. So suppose I have run that pipeline. See that pipeline I showed. It will show you each and every step. First is it is querying the PubMed. Okay, it has started querying the PubMed to understand this 120 literatures. So more literature you provide, it will take more time. So found what is then NLP extraction it has already done. Then pipeline of 100 paper process, and you can see that 120 papers it has extracted. 11 remedy specific trials have been found. 101 RCTs found. It is having 44 positive outcomes RCT. So it is in the back end. I have provided what kind of results I want. If you want that, what are the negatives, then it will provide the negative results. See that evidence tires, I mean quality. I have applied some that Cochrane's previous risk of bias version to understand that low, moderate, and high quality studies. You can see that very, very, very low, low number of high quality studies and papers by the year. Then in which year, how many papers have been published? In 2023, the highest number of papers have been published. Okay, 21. And you can see that entire NLP extraction have been done here. You can download these in Excels and all. Okay, download Excel. You can get the entire data set without even knowing the Boolean operators that required for the PubMed search. So this is one of the model that this is a pure machine learning model that have been developed. So in homeopathy also we can do something like that. So it was just one example of the data mining, how it works. Now data mining kya hai? What is data mining? Data mining is understanding hidden pattern of the data. For an example, you have understood that, see, Hahnemann was having a different mindset. Herring was having a different mindset. Kent was having a different mindset. So if I ask you, one of you, any one of you, can you describe the Hahnemann's mindset? Or can you describe the Kent's mindset? Or can you describe the Herring's mindset? If Herring was alive today, suppose Herring is alive today, then how Herring would have approached this particular case I am looking at? Can you tell me? Anyone? Yes or no? Is it possible? It is not possible. It might be understood. Suppose I have read Herring so much কি আমি হেরিং এর আত্মাটা বুঝতে পারছি প্ল্যানচেট ফ্যানচেট করে and I have মানে I'm joking. Don't take it seriously that I have done planchet and Herring's soul has come to me and tell me that please provide this medicine to your patient. And I have started thinking that Herring has guided me to provide this medicine to the patient, right? আমার একজন টিচার ছিলেন, আমি নাম নিতে চাই না, এখন স্বর্গীয় তিনি. He used to tell me that you have to imbibe the soul of stalwarts so that you can be a good prescriber. What does it mean by soul of stalwart? You just go through the entire literature of the stalwart, understand the pattern, how they used to think about the remedy, how they used to prescribe. So তাদের সমস্ত case face করে you have certain idea that how this person used to prescribe, right? Just if you go through R.T. Cooper's literature, then you can understand that R.T. Cooper was pure keynote kind of person, right? If you go through the Herring's literature, you can understand that Herring was mostly Herring was having very complex mind, and Herring used to emphasize on many aspects of the thing like intensity, specificity, characteristicness, spontaneous nature of the symptoms, all of these things. So you can understand little bit, but what data mining can do and what deep learning can do, deep learning, although it has not been tested, but I am not claiming it is possible. I am telling you the possibility. It can understand the mind as well to some extent. This is why when you do the prompting, you write na ki you are a senior uh, homeopath. Kindly analyze this case and tell me what kind of medicines can be prescribed. So why you give that particular persona to that GPT? Because it can somewhat understand what you are trying to say and what could be its behavior towards your answer, towards your question to answer, right? So this is why this persona is important and AI can understand. So this is called data mining and how this pattern can be observed by the data mining. Now you can see that that could be Metria Medica mining, miasm pattern recognition, graph database mapping, tongue and face diagnosis. You can just click the photo and AI will tell you that what kind of tongue is this, what kind of medicine you should prescribe, even with the diagnosis. Then repertorial gap analysis, what to make embed. This is called BART model and all these things. But nowadays, I believe more on RAG, retrograde augmented generation. You heard about AI, right? You heard about ML, you heard about deep learning. But what if I tell you that there is a model which can think on itself, which can act on itself, and which can learn every day like human do? It is called agentic AI. So agentic AI has multiple models. That is one is called RAG models. So I have one paper in submission and it is under review. I have used a RAG model to certain Mathematica embeddings to understand the Mathematica pattern, not only with the symptoms. You write the symptoms, it will tell the drug like normal repertory app. It's not like that. It's like structured data, supervised, unsupervised learning, plus retrograde augmented generation. It will uh, understand the forward looking symptom. It will understand the backward looking symptom. So at each and every angle, it's like in cricket ground, you can see that hundreds of cameras are all around, right? So RAG model is like that. It can understand that kind of patterns. So it is called agentic AI. So this word to vector embedding जो है, that is mostly BERT models that can be applied on that. It's just an example that how remedy cluster concept. I will show you one I have. Just a minute. Remedy clustering. I need to close this. Let me show you that how this BERT model can identify. See, I have made a model with BERT, okay, and I have feeded that model with the details of 50 medicine, of homeopathic medicine, right? Like it can understand the conceptual ML and all this miasmatic, thermal, all this node it can understand. Now there is a BERT embedding, which is a deeper structure understanding, and what is TF-IDF and K-means clustering. It is another clustering method. But let's do BERT embedding, which is deeper, right? It can understand each and every pattern that I have not even told it. Now suppose I need 4 to 8. Suppose I need 3 clusters. Okay. Just a minute. This is TD-IDF engine. Suppose I need BERT. I have 4. Okay, it is asking for sentence transformers error. So I need to download that Pi one that will be done. But let me show you in TD-IDF itself. Okay, see, there is a very interesting cluster. Okay, suppose this is a cluster of this is a red color, right? This is a cluster. This is called restlessness, dissatisfied, and shock. All these 3 embeddings cluster this particular uh, medicine cluster. Then you can see that there are other clusters. Suppose I have to switch off this one of the clusters. Then I have 2 clusters. As you can see, that irritable chili and suppuration. This is the cluster of graphitis, Nasvomica, Hipersulf, Calendula, Bryanea, Calcar. If you feed with patient data, then it will exactly tell you at which cluster patient belongs to, and it will further individualize the medicine for you in that individual cluster. So that is the power of machine learning or ML to understand, or BERT is deep learning model, of course, to understand the pattern of the medicines, pattern of the application of medicines, these things. Okay, so with this, we can understand the Mathematica mining, as I told you, like case record analysis, scientific literature review, patient communication AI, everything we can do. And we can also develop AI powered repertorization and case analysis module and all of these things. Now, let me jump into this. This is BERT embedding that I showed you. Let me jump into the prompt engineering. Before that, I have one question. ChatGPT is there, Gemini is there, Perplexity is there, Claude is there. Then what is the extra addition of developing certain homeopathy things? It can answer all of these things. No? Then what is the need for generating Mathematica data mining, case data mining? What is the need of that? Anyone?
For more precise information, because ChatGPT maybe hallucinate sometimes cases.
My model can also hallucinate until and unless I provide some bracket. Your first answer is little bit right for precise information. Why for precise information? Because ChatGPT or Gemini might have gone through all the homeopathic literature, but it does not have the structured data and error insight. Error insight means suppose it is generating that pulsatilla is extremely thirsty in chronic conditions, but pulsatilla can also be thirstless. It is a biphasic symptom. But who will make ChatGPT learn about this pattern? That is the expert inputs. That are the brackets we call. There can be multiple brackets, hundreds, thousands of brackets in homeopathy. But there's some has to have some logic behind it. So if it is a single most logic, then it is easier. But if it is having more and more complex logic, then we need to provide that heterogeneous kind of model so that it can understand multiple logics together and implement it for you. Okay. So if we develop in that way, then what it can also do, suppose some of the private colleges doesn't have patients, हाँ? बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को क्लिनिकल एक्सपोजर नहीं होता. In all those cases, we can deploy this model. It will act like a patient. It will say symptoms like patient, and students have to take the case. Students have to identify the medicine and prescribe it, and it will tell what kind of percentage it is better after 14 days, and after 30 days, after 60 days, everything with precision. I'm telling you, with precision. Now, I have shared one particular PDF with you, right? Have you received it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So this is basically prompt engineering. See, prompt engineering is not a very stupendous task. Prompt engineering is simply talking to the AI agents. Okay. Each and every AI agent is built on different models, different kind of models. So they understand different nature of way of communication. What I ask is, I am having anxiety. I am having restlessness at night. I am having constipation. And I don't feel good nowadays. So kindly prescribe a homeopathic medicine. It will give you a number of medicines or five, six medicines. Suppose if you bracket it, give me five medicines, it will. But this is not the way it understands. It understands probably you have understood this particular thing called role, context, format, and constraints. I have given the one more precise model inside your PDF. As you can see, this one I'm talking about. That is called precise model. Precise model. One is persona. You have to tell all the AI agents how it should act while answering your question. So you have to tell them, ये जो this total document I have made for the clinicians, not for the researchers, for the clinicians particularly. So suppose you have to define the persona. Tell the AI act as a senior homeopathic clinician, materia medica teacher, repertory expert, or diagnostic reasoning assistant. So it will diagnose for you, it will repertorize for you, it will act as a very much expert of the materia medica, it will have senior homeopathic clinicians inside as well, right? Then relevant context, add age, sex, chief complaint, modality, mental general, timeline, miasmatic history, everything. Then explicit task, what this model will do. State explicitly what AI should do, like compare remedies, identify characteristic symptoms for this case, suggest repertory rubrics, or draft follow-up questions. So I have good news for you. This recent GPT model, and which is coming in next few months, and also the Gemini's Pro model, they can understand the handwriting as well. So if you readily update one prescription there, although I have obtained some prescription from Anjali, but I can't show it right now because we are running out of time. So if you just upload it and provide this prompt, it will extract that particular symptoms for you as well from that handwriting. Okay, probably many of you probably aware about it, but only Gemini and ChatGPT can do it precisely. Okay, explicit task you can say. Then constraints. Constraint is limit scope is only diagnostic reasoning I want, only therapeutic analysis I want, no final prescription. C, no speculation, no invented citations. It means what I am trying to bracket here. Anyone? I'm trying to bracket here the hallucination that it can made. Okay, that it can make. Sorry, that hallucination I'm trying to bracket here. Then see that intended output. Ask for table, rubric text, or rank differential, soap style note, or clinical quick card, whatever you want. It can design prescription for you as well. Then safety clause. Require the AI to flag the uncertainty and identify emergencies, avoid replacing physician judgment. All of this safety clause has to be attached. Evidence or explanation rule. Ask it to justify each conclusion for symptom, modality, general instead of giving unsupported answer. Suppose I have provided this prompt to Gemini or ChatGPT. What they will do is they will precisely act on this particular thing. But there is a problem. Problem is if you miss any of these steps, then it will add its own intelligence. ऐसा भी हुआ था कि when I provided a particular prompt to a chat GPT that this is the case, kindly suggest me a remedy. What it used to do is in the last it used to add one uh, nota bene saying that homeopathy is not evidence based, so be cautious before using it. Just think about it. It was treated like it. But when you use brackets, then it cannot use this kind of additional thinking process. These are the neural networks. So you through your prompt, you are switching off certain neural networks. You can emphasizing certain neural networks, and you can overactivate certain neural networks, and you can also activate certain analogy between these. Okay. So this is a precise version of certain dummy prompts. I have also provided some weak, strong prompt here, and that you can go through by yourself and make a good prompt to understand your clinical questions. So I'm coming to the last slide. Is very important that people says that AI will replace physicians. Certainly it can in future. I don't know because already it has started replacing some of the things. Recently in Delhi, one hospital, a very renowned surgeon from China, he has performed an entire surgery through robotics in that particular hospital. Just think about it. He is sitting in China and he has done all these precise things. And also, that robot have closed that suture without even guidance. So think about it. That closing suture is done by the robot, and we have not even guided him. We have just guided that close the suture. He has done. So now AI won't replace the interview of homeopathy. You know that there are many trials which says that homeopathic consultation has ameliorative effect, but homeopathic medicine does not. Uh, Controversy apart, I'm telling you that Oxford Dictionary used to say the same thing as well. They said that we don't know homeopathy works or not, but homeopathic physician works. So the consultation method that we have is one of the very important priorities. Medicine works or not, that is a different question. But consultation definitely works. It is evident through many trials. And therefore, AI can't replace that interview, that empathy. And start with one tool this week, Claude or GPT with a good prompt, material medical lookup, repertorial gap analysis. जो यहाँ पे student है, the students who they can use uh, chat GPTs and all to learn the material medica, to understand the comparison, which even comparative material medica can't do in that way that chat GPT does, right? And the future is being built now. AI assisted proving, real time case analysis, global outcome databases. We have to contribute to this shift. So it is my urging to someone who is understanding or that is trying to understand seriously in this hall that let's do something big and just start learning AI, not only using it. We all are the consumers of the iPhone or the Android phone, but the person who made the iPhone actually changed the world. Thank you very much. If you have any queries, I'll be open to answer. Do you have any questions?
Question. Uh, so do you have any questions from the hall? And there is any asking to Dr. Abhijit Dutta sir from online participants. Please feel free to ask or raise your hand or drop a question in the chat box, please. Okay.
How should I ask that?
We have a question from Miss Anjali. Dr. Anjali. Uh, is it not there?
Thank you, sir, for your session. I wanted to ask, like, what happens when we go through patients on a practical or real-time scenario? Many a times we don't reach to a particular drug even in consensus with other doctors. But when we are going to use ChatGPT or any AI or learning model for that scenario, will it be more holistic and more centric to coming to just one particular drug in question? Or will it again be on disparity with the clinician and the AI model again?
No, clinician often a time I have observed that clinician don't give you that holistic idea that why they have used this particular medicine, right? But ChatGPT or Gemini will give you the logic behind it. Okay, just understand that logic and you can apply your clinical logic or mind to understand whether you should prescribe that particular drug or not.
So, only using the totality of symptoms that we are deriving from the case as a physician and putting those prompts in the model and then asking would be the only thing, right? So, every person who is observing it's like catching the elephant by the foot or the tail. It will vary from the prompt to prompt again.
Yes, and this is why the detailed case taking with emphasis that which symptoms were more prominent is very much important, because if you there is a concept called garbage in, garbage out. If you provide garbage to ChatGPT, it will give you the garbage back. So if you have to understand the patient's perspective, if you have to understand the case in a proper manner, then you have to give the prompt in that precise way. I have just provided that dummy prompt that how to use the prompt. But if you have the detailed case of the patient, you have to upload it to the ChatGPT. Even if it is trifling, it will analyze them.
Yeah.
And also at one line, if you have any confusion, just do let me know. This line. Then ChatGPT will not even use a single neural network to assume.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
sir, we also have Dr. Shubhamoy Ghosh set for a question. Is he audible for
Yes,
you?
yes, 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 yes.
See, Abhijit, when we are seeing the patient, when small setup, one or two patients, we have ample time to take a case for a long term. But when you're in a big setup, there are a lot of patients are coming. In this setup, what AI can assist us?
AI can assist in a very precise way here. One is we can make an AI model which can mimic the physician. It can take the case, it can suggest the remedies. Only you have to do is to understand the case and to understand to provide the final medicine. That is the very general and very technical answer that we can make certain models. But now, like how we should use the existing model to that setup, that is a very important preliminary query. Uh, in that case, like Herring have devised one thing called domestic physician. When Herring used to get L number of letters from all over the world, uh, from all over the world in Telegram with just this small queries, right? Herring has to select the medicine out of those queries. And then he devised the book called Domestic Physician so that everybody can use it in their household prescription. So we can devise certain structure out of AI using AI. Suppose you believe in certain 5, 6 books, you can go to Notebook LLM and say that give me an HTML version of this book and uh, bring 50 medicines with important queries and short cases, I mean short case taking formats, then it will give you a book. So in that case also, you can then suppose a patient comes and gives you certain symptoms, and you don't have the time to take the case. And if you have seen that it is acute case or something like that with 5 6 symptoms, it can be prescribed. Then you just go to the Lohnburg LLM and type those symptoms and exactly give this prompt I have provided to you. It will tell you the exact medicine based on a pure authentic source. It will take around 3 4 minutes of
I
each
think
for
you
each
have
and every case.
prepared one model that is a clinical decision support system. So would you kindly show us any glimpse of it? Is it
Yes,
possible?
it is currently under development model, that RAG CDSA, retrograde augmented generation. I'm just telling you informally. What I did is, there are hundreds of models that have been already used in modern medicine, like clinical BERT model, uh, LLM AI 96 models. There are hundreds of models that have been used so far. But I have used RAG, retrograde augmented system, because once it is trained with precise amount of data that ChatGPT or Gemini have never been trained with this kind of homeopathic data. So if we train that particular model, what it will do is it will have its own brain, it will have its own network, it will have its own analytical power. Suppose I have integrated that AI model to an app and give you that app. Yes, sir, please use this app on your own uh, convenience. Suppose I have given to you. And then when you use the app, you take the case, feed the data, it will give you certain answers. All these things will be happening simultaneously. It can repertorize. All of these things will happen simultaneously. But what will happen eventually is it will start mimicking your style of prescription. It will start mimicking your knowledge. It will start mimicking your way of dealing with the patient. So this is something RAG model does. So I am in process of developing that RAG CDSS model, clinical decision support system. I have named this decision support system because AI cannot decide as of now as per the CDPR, Clinical Data Protection Regulation. So it can also support you, but informally I'm telling you it can decide it over the time.
Sanjita, do you have any questions?
Sir, I do have a question for you.
Yes,
Actually, sir, in clinical real practice, we can't have a
sorry, it is mute.
tool or any scope for us to look forward to select the most minimum remedy or the most.
Once again. Arif, one.
Okay. Sir, actually, we have difficulties in the detailed prompt building in clinical real practice. So, do you have any specific tool, I mean AI tool, to select the most minimum remedy or any scope for us to select the minimum?
No, there is no specific AI tool to understand this simillimum that I told you just right now. Shubhamoy sir asked me this question. The model I am building, it's a RAG. It can mimic the prescription style patterns. If you ask RAG that mimic the heading style of prescription, it will start questioning the patient itself. That what kind of symptoms you have, patients say, then it will start taking the modality, it will start taking the thirst and everything. It will support you a lot. But it is under development. It has not been developed so far. But existing models, how it can help you, that is a big question. Now, it will with the simple prompt. If you don't have time in the clinical setup to write this entire prompt, don't worry about it. I have understood this problem earlier, and that's why the notebook I developed for myself, and also for my colleagues in this central government health services, so that they can use this particular prompt. You just have to replace some of the things. It will take less than 10 seconds with ChatGPT or Gemini Pro, whatever it may be. You are a student, so you can get the Gemini Pro for free for 1 year. Okay. Or and Perplexity also, who are the Airtel users, they can get the Perplexity Pro for free. In Perplexity also, you have to choose the model. So devise the model to Gemini or ChatGPT only, because Claude and Anthropic, they are different kind of model. Although yesterday Naman was also saying that Claude and Anthropic, all these things, but Claude and Anthropic has been built on different kind of models. It is not even BERT or medical near model. So it would be better if it is Gemini or ChatGPT, because their model is much more aligned to our prescription patterns or the medical decision making. So that's why it will take less than 10 seconds. Just go through that prompt book I have given to you. You can get to understand. It will be easier until and unless that RAC CDSS comes into play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for such a thought-provoking session. Thank you all the participants for joining us, and thank you Dr. Shubhamoy Ghosh, sir, for having your time, and Dr. Mohan Giri, sir, HOD of Practice of Medicine Department, for your time. And now we'll have a break for the lunch break and reconvene soon, shortly.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
So 3, he is coming in.
now. Sir, আমি ওটা তো বলতে ভুলে গেলাম। ওই যে বললাম না, স্যার